I never thought I would be writing something like this. And if you're reading it, I honestly hope you never experience anything even remotely similar. This is not a normal story, and I still don't fully understand it myself. But I need to get it out before my memory starts filling in the gaps again. And before we start, welcome to my channel with Anna 7. This is where I share scary psychological horror stories that feel too real to ignore. So if you're ready, stay with me and let's go straight into it. My name is Emily Harper, and before all of this started, I used to think my life was completely normal. But tell me this, have you ever felt like something was watching you even when you're alone? Because that's exactly how it began for me. I moved into a small apartment in a city I had never lived in before. Nothing special about it, just cheap rent, a quiet neighborhood, and a building that looked slightly too old to feel safe. But at the time, I didn't care. I just needed a fresh start. So I ignored that feeling in my stomach that something about the place wasn't right. The first days were completely normal. I would go to work, come back late, eat something small, scroll on my phone until my eyes got heavy, and then sleep without thinking too much about anything. But let me ask you something. Why do normal routines always feel safe right before everything goes wrong? Because after about a week, something started happening that I couldn't explain. Every single night at exactly 3:13 a.m. I would wake up. Not randomly, not sometimes. Every single night at the exact same time, like something inside me knew when to wake me up. At first, I told myself it was stress, or maybe my body was adjusting to the new place. But then it started getting worse, because I would wake up before my alarm even rang, like I wasn't waking up on my own, like something was pulling me out of sleep at that exact moment. And every time I opened my eyes, my phone was already on, not just on unlocked and open, always on the same thing, a blank notes page, like someone had been using it while I was asleep. I tried everything I could think of. I turned my phone off completely. I put it across the room. I even removed the battery once. But somehow, every night, it would still be there. When I woke up, that empty note staring back at me. And tell me honestly, who opens your phone while you're asleep? Then one night, something changed. There was a message on the screen. When I woke up, I didn't put it there. And I know I didn't. It said, "You keep waking up at the wrong time." I remember sitting up so fast my heart dropped. And for a few seconds, I couldn't even move. I just stared at the screen until my vision blurred. I deleted it immediately and told myself it was just a glitch, maybe a bug, maybe I was sleepwalking and doing things without remembering. But deep down, I already knew something was wrong. I didn't sleep that night at all, and the silence of my apartment felt different, like it was waiting for something. The next night, I decided to stay awake on purpose. I wanted to prove to myself that nothing strange was happening. I sat on my bed with my phone in my hand, watching the time, waiting for 3:13 a.m. Everything felt normal until it didn't, because at exactly 3:13 I blinked, just a normal blink, nothing more. And when I opened my eyes again, I was lying down on my bed. The lights were off, and my phone was back in my hand, open again, on that same blank note. And this time, there was another message. It said you shouldn't try to stay awake when it happens. I dropped the phone immediately like it burned my hand, and I didn't touch it for the rest of the night. The next day, I tried to act normal. I went to work. I even laughed with a coworker, trying to convince myself it was just stress or lack of sleep. But something was changing in me, because I started noticing gaps in my memory, small ones at first, like walking into a room and forgetting why I went there, or standing in front of my door without remembering how I got there. Once I found mud on my shoes, and I hadn't left the apartment all day. And that's when the sound started at night. It wasn't a clear voice at first. It was something almost like speaking, but underwater, like someone trying to talk through thick glass right outside my door. At first I thought it was pipes or the building settling, but it wasn't random. It was always after 3:13 a.m. every single night. Soft, slow, patient, like it knew I was listening. And it wasn't in a hurry. On the 5th night, I couldn't take it anymore, so I decided to record it. I placed my phone near the door before sleeping and turned on voice recording, thinking I would finally prove it was nothing. But at 3:13, I woke up again, and the recording was gone, not deleted, not corrupted, just completely replaced. And the file name had changed to You Already Know. That was the first time I seriously thought about leaving the apartment, but something stopped me, and I don't know what it was. Not fear, something else, something heavier, like curiosity mixed with something I don't want to name. The next night, I did something stupid. I wrote a message in the notes. Before sleeping, I typed, "If you can read this, prove you're real." I locked my phone and went to bed. But this time, the apartment felt different. Not visually, everything looked the same. But the silence was heavier, like the air itself was waiting for me to wake up. At 3:13 a.m., I woke up again. And I knew, before even reaching for my phone, that something was different. When I opened it, the note was already open again. But this time, it wasn't empty. It said, "We are not the ones inside your apartment." I sat up. Immediately, my heart was pounding so hard, I thought someone outside could hear it. And then I heard it again, the scratching at the door. But this time, it wasn't distant. It was close, like something was right there, touching the wood slowly, deliberately, as if it was learning the shape of the door. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe for a moment. And then the scratching stopped completely, and the silence that followed was worse. Then my phone vibrated, a single notification from an unknown contact. No number, no name, just a message. "Don't look at the door when it opens." And I remember laughing at that moment, not because it was funny, but because my brain couldn't process it any other way. I stood up anyway. I walked toward the door, even though something inside me was screaming not to. And I still don't know why I did it. Every step felt like it wasn't mine, like my body was moving without permission. I reached the door, and right before my hand touched the handle, my phone spoke. Not a vibration, not text, a voice coming from it, soft, calm, familiar. And it said my name. And then it said, "You opened it last time too." I froze completely. And in that moment, something inside my mind shifted, because suddenly I remembered something that didn't feel like a memory. It felt like something being forced back into me. I saw myself standing at that same door before, same time, same night, opening it. But I wasn't alone. There was something behind me, standing too close, and I remember turning around. And then nothing, just complete blankness. I snapped back to reality, gasping like I had been underwater for too long. And the scratching started again. But this time, it wasn't on the door. It was inside the apartment, somewhere in the hallway. Slow steps, moving closer and closer. I backed away, slowly, holding my phone like it was the only thing keeping me anchored to reality. And the voice came again from the phone. This time, it said, "It doesn't come from outside." And then the lights flickered once, twice, and the mirror in the hallway reflected something behind me. But when I turned around, there was nothing there, only silence. But when I looked back at the mirror, I wasn't alone anymore. There was something standing exactly where I had been moments before, perfectly shaped like me, but not moving, just watching. I don't remember how I survived the rest of that night. My memory, after that point, is just fragments waking up on the floor, the apartment completely silent, and my phone beside me with the note open again. And it said, "Now, you understand why you wake up at 3:13. I moved out the next morning. I didn't pack properly. I didn't say goodbye. I just left as fast as I could. But here's the part I still can't explain. No matter where I sleep, no matter what city I'm in, I still wake up at 3:13 a.m. And sometimes, just sometimes, when I open my phone, the note is already open before I even touch it. If you made it this far and you enjoyed the story, make sure to support the channel with a like on this video and subscribe to my channel with Anna7 so you don't miss the next story.